In veritatis amore.
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 The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Always nice to see who you wander across in the hallways, might have a quick word with.
So I think it's exciting to meet youth coaches and high school coaches and even college coaches who are all really passionate about the sport.
It's a learning experience. I think it's invaluable both from a coach standpoint and from an administrative standpoint.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
in the region received the first round bye, but it was just one game for the Panthers in the 2013 NCAA Division II tournament. As I mentioned, both teams coming off wins on Thursday night to open the season. Ohio Dominican won 2-0 over Urbana with goals from Brent Wally and Jacob Zabo. Both goals scored in the first 15 minutes, while 4 players got on the score sheet for Bellarmine on Thursday over Oakland City. Among them, Brandon Ebert, Zach Daigen, Dan Schiavi, and Joe Workman. Bellarmine has 3 home games to open the season. They are back here at Owsley Frazier Stadium on Tuesday night when they take on Kentucky Wesleyan. That would be actually the first game of a doubleheader against KWU. The women's soccer teams will play each other following the conclusion of the men's match on Tuesday night, while Ohio Dominican will have most of the school week off before returning to action on Friday, September 12th at Lake Erie College. The Panthers have 3 road contests to open the 2014 season. Division II rankings do not officially start this season until Tuesday, but the preseason rankings are out. Ohio Dominican ranked 19th after their 12-3-4 season a year ago. Bellarmine with an opportunity to beat a ranked team at home. So right now, I'm going to step aside. We will keep it here as the playing of our national anthem. We are set. Again, welcome to Ohio Dominican and Bellarmine. This is the NSCAA Game of the Week on Turbo Sports. As always, we thank our military servicemen and servicewomen past and present for defending the United States of America, and we certainly extend a welcome to those servicemen and women who are tuning in to today's game here at the NSCAA Game of the Week on this very pleasant Sunday afternoon from Owsley B. Frazier Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Bellarmine will be in their home jerseys, white jerseys with black shorts, white socks. Bellarmine in trim, numbers in maroon trim, I should say, to clarify, while Ohio Dominican will be in black jerseys with white sleeves, black shorts, black socks, numbers in white. Again, repeating the starting lineups, the outfield players for the Bellarmine Knights: Jacob Kay, Bryson Howard, Kai Kuala, Dan Schiavi, Zach Daigen, Matt Coffey, Brendan Ebert, Mitchell Wiseman, Michael Albies, Trevor Thompson. Starting goalkeeper, a senior from Novi, Michigan, is Blake Hunter. Outfield players for the Ohio Dominican Panthers: Justin Bonchek, Jacob Zabo, Shane Facemeyer, Brock Taylor, Frazier Fernandez, G.J. Cook, Michael Fergulis, Brent Wally, Caleb Wilson, and Tanner Ebright. Starting goalie, a junior from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, is Justin Alexander. Referees today: Kerry Williams, Brian Schaefer, and Chip Hayward Jr. as we get set for Game 3 of the NSCAA Small College Game of the Week series on the TSG Network. Ohio Dominican in black and white will kick off, going left to right across your screen. This is our 3rd game of the season, 3rd game of the weekend, as a matter of fact. We began Thursday in Charleston, West Virginia, then headed up to Wheaton, Illinois, in the West Chicago suburb of Wheaton on Friday, and now we are here in Louisville on Sunday, as Bellarmine, already getting a quick cross into the box, cleared out temporarily by the Ohio Dominican defense and sent back towards midfield. In those 2 games, the home team won both encounters the visiting team, both went by the nickname Knights. The Gannon Golden Knights and the Calvin Knights, both losing the contests. Gannon 6-0 to Charleston. And Calvin 3-2 to Wheaton. So the Knights this weekend in the games we've covered are 0-2. The home team is 2-0. Today the Knights are the home team. Play at the far end of the field. Now back into the middle. First touch of the game for Tanner Ebride, a sophomore from Pickerington, Ohio. Now running down the right side is Michael Fergulis. Touch too heavy, and it will be defended by Michael Albies, the freshman from St. Louis. And will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Just about a minute and a half old here in Louisville. Blake Hunter to take this ensuing goal kick, clearing the halfway line. Long ball sent forward by Bryson Howard, collected by Brock Taylor. Now Ohio Dominican, back to G.J. Cook. Shane Facemeyer. Now at the left side of the field, pass from Wally back into the middle third. Facemeyer trying a through ball intended for Wally. And Hunter races over to keep the ball in bounds and will clear it himself. And a miscommunication there. Turns the ball over to Wally. Through ball, opportunity knocking for Frazier Fernandez. And Ohio Dominican still maintaining possession. And a foul, or actually the ball just went out of play. So the Panthers with the first chance of the game, but unable to take advantage. Goal kick awarded to the Knights in the 4th minute. This is Cook. Fergulis played it back inside, now turns over. This is Dan Schiavi, a senior. Long ball intended for Jacob Kay, but intercepted and cleared by Brock Taylor. So Bellarmine gets an attacking throw-in just under 4 minutes into this Division II match. We are coming to you from the southeast area of Louisville. At least we are southeast of the downtown area. As a cross in the box, one touch cleared back out. Albies heads it back in the box. Long ball sent downfield by Caleb Wilson. Free kick awarded to Bellarmine inside the midfield circle. Very pleasant day. We saw a little bit of precipitation yesterday, but minor, very minor, if you can even call it that, here in Louisville. We did encounter a lot more rain at our previous game on Friday night in Wheaton, Illinois. Here's Albies. Trevor Thompson, freshman from Cincinnati, not too far from Bellarmine. Advantage played. Opportunity for the Knights in the box. Cleared out by the Ohio Dominican defense. Here's Ebright. Parasols are out in the stands here. Fans definitely needing the suntan lotion this afternoon on an otherwise very pleasant day. Temperature in the very comfortable high 70s. Long throw and taken downfield by Fergulis. Now Mitchell Wiseman. Throw into Ohio Dominican. He will keep possession. This is Jacob Szabo from Worthington, Ohio. Went to Thomas Worthington High School. Also spent time at the U.S. Military Academy before coming to ODU. And a long-range, ambitious effort, always rising above the goal. That shot taken by Michael Fergulis, and Bellarmine to take the ensuing goal kick. So again, the head coaches for each squad. Tim Chastanay for the Knights in his 17th season. A 3-time GLVC runner-up as a player for the Knights, while Willie Merrick is a national champion in an American football sense. He was a part of the 1992 Division I AA football national champion squad at Marshall University, where he also played soccer for the Thundering Herd. Here's Szabo. Just outside the box, tried an ambitious cross in, but was actually deflected out of bounds. And Ohio Dominican gets the game's first corner in the 9th minute, just under 37 to go in the first half. This will be Justin Bonchek, a sophomore from Mayfield, Ohio. Right-footed corner, well over the reach of every player in the box. And an athletic attempt there by Tanner Ebright to keep the ball in bounds, but the angle deflects it past the byline. Bellarmine will take a goal kick. So Ohio Dominican, the majority of the possession in the opening minutes, and they have looked the closer to scoring the opening goal of this match, but Bellarmine have had a couple offensive opportunities themselves. Cook passes back to Justin Alexander, the goalkeeper from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. One of the many Columbus suburbs that are represented on the Panthers roster. Reynoldsburg being at the east side of Ohio's capital city. Couple Ohio players in general from the Bellarmine roster, notably Mitchell Wiseman, starting midfielder from Hilliard, Ohio. That's West Columbus, although he did attend St. Charles Preparatory, a private Catholic school on the east side of the city. Bonchek's free kick. Not a lot of height on it. Easy clearance for the Bellarmine defense. Now a quick turnover back to Fergulis. Cross in the box for Facemeyer was deflected, and Ohio Dominican have an attacking throw-in. Just under 35 minutes to play in the first half. Those of you new to NCAA soccer, clock counts down from 45. Stoppages for goals, injuries, and major fouls, the kind that result in cards. If we are tied after 90 minutes, there will be 2 10-minute overtime periods, sudden death. And if those 20 minutes do not yield a game-winning goal, it is then declared a tie. Penalties, the drama of penalties gets to wait until postseason play. Long pass downfield intended for Kai Kuala. And Brock Taylor hustling over from the left center back spot to clear. Bellarmine will have an attacking throw-in at the 34-minute mark. Here's Albies, a freshman from St. Louis. Takes a long throw-in, intended for Kuala, headed out by ODU. Back to Wiseman, an ambitious effort, and taken on the bounce easily by Justin Alexander. Looked to be curling away from that far post. Matt Coffey plays back to Hunter. Well, we're just about 12 minutes old in this match, and we are still scoreless between the Panthers and the Knights. Should mention our first 2 games this weekend. Both goals came after the 10th minute. Although Ohio Dominican, their opening win over Urbana, both goals came within the first 15 minutes. So the Panthers enjoying a very bright start to their 2014 season, and since then have been holding strong at the back. No goals allowed in now 100 minutes of play. Same could be said for Bellarmine because they won 4-0 on Thursday night. Throw into the Knights will be taken by Albies. Headed away by Cook. Wiseman forward to Kuala over both him and an ODU defender, eventually collected by Caleb Wilson. Facemeyer. A heavy chip on the pass from Zabo intended for Fergulis. Dan Schiavi, one of the goal scorers on Thursday night for the Knights, heading the ball forward. Now Ohio Dominican with an opportunity in the attacking edge. Tried a through ball, but miscommunication. Fergulis did not complete the run forward like G.J. Cook thought he might. No fouls in this game so far as well. A very clean play until just now. Tanner Ebright called for a push from behind. Quick free kick taken by Zach Daigen. Here's Kuala. Tries an effort, not able to get a whole lot of power for it. Looked like he had to reach just to connect with the ball. Collected on a couple of bounces by Alexander, who has been called in to make a couple of clearances, although Blake Hunter has definitely been the busier of the two keepers in the opening quarter hour. Fergulis. Back to Wilson. And a dummy there from Zabo. Now an opportunity here for Wally. Cross deflected out of the 6-yard box, but ODU maintaining possession. The feed in for Fernandez. And Hunter had to punch the ball out just to ensure protection of the goal, but a foul called inside the box. Free kick awarded to the Knights. So Ohio Dominican again continuing to pile that pressure on the Bellarmine goal. But the Knights defense so far holding firm. Again, whoever scores first in this match, if we do have a goal, it is possible this game could finish 0-0, but again, whoever does score first in this match, it will be the first goal conceded of the season for the opposing team. Alexander collects the long ball from Albies. 16.5 minutes played. Here's Wilson. Daigen. Now Wiseman. Back to Brendan Ebert. A lot of different markings on this field. It is a multi-purpose facility used not just for soccer, but also for lacrosse, for track and field, for field hockey. So for those wondering which color the field outlines are, be on the lookout for the yellow lines. That's the outline for soccer. Fernandez tries a half volley pass intended for Wally, headed out by Ebert. Clearance back to Wilson. Sends it back to the middle of the field. Brock Taylor will reset. Long ball into the box, but beyond the reach of the intended recipient, Jacob Zabo, and out for another Hunter goal kick upcoming for the Knights. Here's Wally. Cuts back with a one-touch pass to Bonchek. And a goal kick upcoming for Bellarmine. Well, some updates to bring you on future games. Our original next scheduled broadcast was a week and a half from today when we head to Delaware, Ohio to bring you a local derby match between the Ohio Northern Polar Bears and Ohio Wesleyan Battling Bishops. We have just received information that we will be back on the air sooner than September 17th, so be sure to stay tuned to NSCAA-TV. We will bring you those updates as soon as we have them confirmed. Here's the through ball into the box. Wally tries to leave it off for Ebright, cleared out by Bellarmine before Ebright can capitalize on the opportunity. Fergulis. Long ball downfield. Bonchek not able to keep the ball in play. Knights with a defending throw-in. Now BU trying a long pass of their own. It will find Dan Schiavi. One-on-one with Facemeyer. Gets across into the box. Headed out by Wilson. Not out of the penalty box yet. And now falls again. A shot from just outside the semicircle from Jacob Kay. Taken on a bounce by Alexander. So Bellarmine, their first attempt on goal in a while. Nearly catching the Panthers off guard with that counterattack. This is Taylor down the left side of the field. Cross back into the box. Cook back to Taylor. One-touch pass intended layoff for Taylor, intercepted by Bellarmine, cleared back towards Wilson, who will reset for the Panthers. Again, ODU maintaining the majority of the possession in this first half of the first half. Here's Koala. Slowing down right now. Bellarmine in a 2-on-3 opportunity. Now another Knight player rushing forward. And a long pass will reach Schiavi. Lost his footing on the turf. Last touched by the Bellarmine senior midfielder, and ODU will have a goal kick. So Koala's long ball finding Schiavi, but a heavy touch just to control. Carries the ball out of play. And Alexander will take the ensuing Panthers goal kick. 23rd minute here in Louisville. And a collision there between Taylor and Koala. Referee says play on. And still play on. Pass for Schiavi is cleared out by Facemeyer. And a free kick. Fraser Fernandez drawing the foul, pushed from behind. Both Tim Chastanay and Willie Merrick have yet to make a substitution in this match. Wilson will take the free kick. Here's Facemeyer. Wally out on the wing to a wide open Michael Fergulis. Plenty of space. He was actually judged to be offside. Bit too much space. Bellarmine playing that trap perfectly in the 25th minute. Well, Chastanay is going to send a pair of Knights onto the field. Next opportunity, he will be looking to send on Jared Kemper, a sophomore from Crestwood, Kentucky, and also Sanjin Mihicic from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Willie Merrick set to do the same with a pair of substitutions himself. Number 2, Sam Katz, a sophomore from Fairfield, Ohio, waiting to enter, as is number 21, Andrew Schwall, a sophomore from Gahanna. Again, an eastern Columbus suburb. Meanwhile, here's Trevor Thompson. One-on-one with Fergulis. One-touch pass intended for Thompson. Finds him. Now he tries a one-touch half volley. Cleared out as far as Koala. Schiavi. Pass into the box. Eventually cleared by Justin Bonchek. Bellarmine has an attacking throw-in. And Merrick will send on a third substitute now in the 26th minute. Number 12, Trevor Gates, a senior from Gahanna, Ohio. So the three substitutes for the Panthers, Katz, Gates, and Schwal. Now on the field for the Knights, Kemper and Mahicic. Players making their way to the bench for Bellarmine, number 20, Matt Coffey, and number 21, Brendan Ebert. And coming off for ODU, Brent Wally, Michael Fergulis, and Justin Bonchek. As a throw-in was played into the box, Schiavi trying to get away from a defender. Fouled Schwal from behind. ODU awarded a quick free kick. Referee Kari Williams actually wants that to be retaken. Actually, a foul on Bellarmine is the ruling, so opportunity knocking for the Knights in the 27th minute. It will be Dan Schiavi, the senior midfielder from Bourne, England. Previously played at Robert Manning College. Punched out of the box by Alexander. Bellarmine again keeping possession, this time with another attacking throw-in. Long throw-in taken by Jared Kemper. Reaches to the box. And a long-range shot always rising over the crossbar. So nearly half an hour played. We have yet to see a goal here in this match between the Panthers and the Knights. And based on the season opening performances on Thursday night, you would feel that favors the Knights. As Ohio Dominican scored twice in the first 15 minutes against Urbana. Did not score from then on. They didn't need to at that point. But so far a game of Bellarmine, for the most part, being on the defensive foot. But they have excelled on the defensive foot and have created a couple of counterattacks in the meantime. Wilson, long ball downfield intended for Schwal. And a headed ball collected by a grateful Hunter. Here's Koala. First touch of the game for Trevor Gates, and he nearly runs right over his head coach, Willie Merrick. Wilson fouled from behind, free kick to the Panthers. Koala, the guilty party. Just about 3 p.m. here on the East Coast. Glad you could tune in for this association football match on NSCAA-TV. The Ohio Dominican Panthers ranked 19th in the NSCAA preseason poll as Hunter comes out to collect that pass. They were coming off a 12-3-4 season in 2013, taking on Bellarmine, who went 8-6-4 in last season. Attacking throw-in to be taken by Albies in the 30th minute. Kemper looked like he was interested in getting a free kick there. Williams, the referee, says play on. Albies to take another attacking throw-in. Very clean game. No cards so far. As a throw into the box. And the back corner was all open as Justin Alexander having to scramble. Clearance was headed out by Ohio Dominican, so Bellarmine will have a far side corner kick. Now in the 31st minute. It will be Trevor Thompson to take. So if Bellarmine had an opportunity had a man waiting at that far post, it would have been an easy tap in to put the Knights on top. What is now the 31st minute? Jacob K got a touch, but not more than that. Ebright. Gates. Fernandez tried to find Jacob Szabo on the wing, but too much power angles the ball away from Szabo, who essentially did not make an effort to collect the ball. Goal kick upcoming again for Blake Hunter. And Jacob K will have a seat on the bench in place of Ryan Fagan, a freshman from St. Louis, Missouri. Went to Chaminade High School. So that's the third substitution of the half made by Tim Chastanet in his 17th season. Assisted by Matt Kennedy, Craig Jones, and Chris Cahill. Assistant coaches for Ohio Dominican. We will get that confirmed to you later. Throw in ODU. Throw in Gates. Fernandez acted like he may have been pushed from behind. No foul, says the referee. Goal kick awarded to Bellarmine again. Bellarmine now trying to build a string of offensive possession now in the 34th minute. Headed away by Wilson. Intercepted by Wiseman. Szabo. Now Cook. Szabo receiving the one-touch pass, tried a dummy, a miscommunication there, and now an opportunity. Qualo with plenty of space, and now a pass into Schiavi, getting around Alexander. And the shot goes just across the face of goal. A miscommunication. Szabo tried the dummy on a pass back to Wilson, and it was smartly intercepted by Kai Quala, finding a pass to set up Dan Schiavi, who did well to get around Alexander. But the shot curling just wide of that near post. Bellarmine again almost catching the Panthers out on the counterattack. This is Albies inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. Wilson. Thompson back to Albies. Tried a chip intended for Quella, who was coming back. Miscommunication on the part of Bellarmine. So the Knights coming very close to breaking the scoreless deadlock in the 35th minute. That pass from Qualla finding Schiavi did well to get around goalkeeper Alexander, but couldn't angle the ball back in towards the goal. There were two Panther defenders rushing back. I believe both of them would have been on the line in time to clear if the ball had been in their direction. But it turns out they weren't needed. Schiavi not able to direct his effort completely on target. Here's Albies now in the 37th minute. Here's Qualla getting away from Wilson, running down the left side. Still maintaining a lead against Wilson. And Qualla's shot! A reflex save right off the shin of Alexander. So Bellarmine twice in the last few minutes have come the closer to taking a 1-0 lead. Alexander has his shin to thank for standing firm and not giving ground. And an attacking throw-in taken by Albies. Cross into the box for Qualla, maintaining possession. Now turns it over. Albies gets it back for the Knights. Mahicic, his first touch of the game. Now Zach Daigen. .38th coming up on 39th minute. Throw in now for the Panthers. And Ohio Dominican will be making their fourth substitution shortly. They will bring on number 9, Angelo Pagani, a senior from Blacklick, Ohio, one of 2 players on the Panther roster who went to St. Francis de Sales High School. Bellarmine maintaining possession right outside the penalty box. Trevor Thompson loses out to Cook. Fernandez back in the middle for Zabo. Back to Cook. Here's Gates. Facemeyer tried to thread a pass for Zabo. A Bellarmine defender did well to intercept the ball and clear, forced the Panthers to reset. Brock Taylor now. Wiseman poking the ball away right to the ODU bench. And we're not only going to see the introduction of Pagani, we will also see a substitution for Bellarmine. Joe Workman, a freshman midfielder from Taylorsville, Kentucky, one of the 4 to score against Oakland City on Thursday night. And right now, referee Kari Williams having a word with Brock Taylor for that hard foul. No card. The clock is stopped with 4:46 to play in the first half. Daigen to take this free kick. And getting the ball is Joe Workman. Tries to cross inside. Had an opportunity, always rising over the crossbar. That was Ryan Fagan, who was unable to control the ball. He only had one touch to get the header on target. But an athletic effort there from Joe Workman to win the ball in the corner. And again, create another counterattack opportunity for Bellarmine, although you can only say that for so long. Bellarmine have been building more of an offensive identity as the first half has worn on. Right now we have an injured Panther in Trevor Gates. And the clock stops at the 3:07 mark in the first half. So Bellarmine looked to have the majority of possession, the majority of opportunities early. That was Ohio Dominican, I mean. Bellarmine has been the one with chances in the last few minutes. Particularly in the 34th minute, when Dan Schiavi got around Alexander. Really, he did only have one touch to take the ball into the net because two Panther defenders were rushing back to the line to cover for Alexander. And Schiavi took his shot wide. And Jalen Hambrick, a junior from Fairfield, Ohio, will replace Gates as we're now under 3 minutes to play in the first half of this Division II match. And a hard foul. Free kick awarded to Bellarmine. No card shown yet. Jacob Szabo was the Panther who the foul is called on after that harsh tackle between him and Mitchell Wiseman. Here is Szabo. This time he wins the Panthers a free kick right in front of the Knights bench. Wilson to take. Leaves it short to Szabo. First touch of the game for Hambrick. Cross well over the head of Angelo Pagani. And an attacking throw-in for the Panthers. Final 100 seconds of the first half. It's G.J. Cook. Headed away by Wiseman. ODU continuing to maintain attacking possession. Schwal getting a touch of the ball. In the 44th minute, another Panther throw-in. And Willie Merrick will try to get Brent Wally back on the field before the whistle for intermission. So final minute upcoming here in the first half between the Panthers and the Knights. Again, a very clean game so far. No cards, but also no goals. Both teams have had plenty of opportunities. Blake Hunter will take this clearance. First time we've called his name in a while. This is Fagan. One-on-one with Cook. Lost the ball out of bounds. Throw in for the Panthers, now under 25 seconds. Correction, that was Workman who was involved in the action on that far side of the field, but now we're in the final 10 seconds. Last attack of the first half for the Panthers. And that brings an end to a very back and forth first half for both teams. Ohio Dominican had the opening pressure for about the first 20 minutes, but then Bellarmine weathered the storm, created opportunities themselves, but both goalkeepers still have yet to concede in the 2014 season. We'll take a quick break, bring you some halftime stats when we return, but the score at intermission of the NSCAA Game of the Week, Ohio Dominican 0, Bellarmine 0. This is the TSG Network.
In veritatis amore.
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 The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Always nice to see who you wander across in the hallways, might have a quick word with.
So I think it's exciting to meet youth coaches and high school coaches and even college coaches who are all really passionate about the sport.
It's a learning experience. I think it's invaluable both from a coach standpoint and from an administrative standpoint.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
One-on-one with Facemeyer. Of the week, no score after 45 minutes of play between the Ohio Dominican Panthers and the Bellarmine Knights in this Division II matchup from Owsley B. Frazier Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Matt Digby here, ready to bring you some first half highlights, and it was a half dominated by two halves. The opening 20 minutes or so was all Ohio Dominican, creating opportunity after opportunity, but unable to find the back of the net. And then the final 20 minutes or so largely dominated by the Bellarmine Knights. BU coming closest to scoring their first goal of the game on a Dan Schiavi effort that was just wide across the face of goal after a pass from Quala that actually started a miscommunication, the turnover by Jacob Szabo. Quala created a thread pass collected by Schiavi. He was able to get around goalkeeper Justin Alexander, but unable to get the ball on target, and he only took one opportunity, one touch to direct the ball on target, but was unable to break the scoring deadlock. So here's a look at the first half highlights, as here's Bellarmine creating opportunity, a long-range shot easily fielded by Alexander. That was early in the first few minutes of the first half. Then an opportunity by Albies, who was able to get away from a defender. Actually, the ball went out last touch by Albies, but then a cross was punched out eventually by Justin Alexander. Taking a look at the first half stats, 3 shots for Ohio Dominican, none of them on goal. Brent Wally, Michael Fergulis, and Jacob Szabo taking the shots on goal. Meanwhile, Kai Quala had 2 attempts on target. Jacob Kay had 1. Mitchell Wiseman had 1. Kay had another shot that is judged to not be on target. Dan Schiavi and Ryan Fagan also had 1 shot each. Justin Alexander with 4 saves in the opening 45 minutes. As the total shots, Bellarmine out shooting the Panthers 7-3, and on shots on goal 4-0. So again, a tale of 2 parts in this half. One 20-minute period at the very beginning of the game dominated by the Panthers. The final 20 minutes largely dominated by the Knights of Bellarmine. As we mentioned, the uniqueness of the circumstances coming into this match. Again, this is our 3rd game of the weekend. Our first 2, Charleston defeated the Gannon Golden Knights 6-0 on Thursday, while Friday evening saw the Wheaton Thunder lose a 2-0 lead to the Calvin Knights, but the Thunder were able to come back and win that match in regulation 3-2. So our first 2 games of this NSCAA Small College Game of the Week series, the Knights were the visiting team and lost both times. But right now, the Knights are the home team, and they are tied at no score after the first 45 minutes of play. Let's take a look at the quick NSCAA rankings. Again, the Division II rankings don't officially come out until Tuesday, but here's a look at the Division I rankings. UCLA on top after an unbeaten start, an untied start to the season with 2 wins and no losses, no ties. Louisville in 2nd, Virginia in 1st, and arguably the biggest rise of the season. You can clearly see Creighton, who was out of the top 25 last week. They are up to number 8 in the new rankings released on September 2nd. Meanwhile, the Division II poll, Ohio Dominican was ranked 19th in the preseason. As you see, Southern New Hampshire, the defending champion, maintaining their spot at the top of the polls. Mercyhurst in 6th. They were taking on Charleston today. Charleston we had seen on Thursday. Lindenwood in 7th. UC San Diego in 9th. And Rockhurst, you see they're at 4. We will be covering Rockhurst later in this Small College Game of the Week series. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you the uninterrupted second half of Ohio Dominican at Bellarmine. This is the NSCAA Game of the Week on Turbo Sports. Owsley B. Frazier Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky, about ready to begin the second half of the Division II match between the Ohio Dominican Panthers and the Bellarmine Knights. Bellarmine is on the field warming up, getting ready for the second half, while Ohio Dominican just emerging from the east goal, behind the east goal. Coach Willie Merrick finishing up his halftime speech to his men, who were on the front foot for the first 20 minutes and then on the back foot for the last few minutes of the first half. Don't forget, you can catch lots of action for the fall during the fall season with Turbo Sports Group and the NSCAA as coverage continues later this week on NSCAA-TV. Our next game, as of right now, September 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will bring you a Division III showdown between Ohio Northern and Ohio Wesleyan. That game will take place in Delaware. It's a rematch of last year's matchup when the Battling Bishops came from behind in the second half to defeat the Polar Bears in Ada by a score of 2-1. That match will kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern on the 17th. And we are actually receiving word that our series will continue earlier than the 17th. We will have those dates and times and matchups confirmed for you soon. Be sure to stay tuned to NSCAA-TV for more information. This broadcast has been brought to you by Turbo Sports Group, the official video production company and organizing body of the Small College Game of the Week series on NSCAA-TV. To learn more about Turbo Sports, visit their website at tourbeausportsgroup.com. Ohio Dominican in black will be going right to left across your screen in the second half. Bellarmine in home white. Again, those of you new to NCAA soccer, 45 minutes count down in each half with stoppages for goals, injuries, and major fouls, usually the kind that produce cards, even though we haven't seen any bookings from referee Kari Williams in the first half. Seven shots in the first half for the Knights, 4 of them on goal. ODU had 3 shots in the opening 45 minutes, none on goal. As the Panthers finishing up their pre-second half huddle. Final instructions from Willie Merrick and Tim Chastanet. Bellarmine going left to right will kick off to start the second half. It will be Kai Kuala and Dan Schiavi at center circle. The two almost teamed up for a goal in the 35th minute when Kuala intercepted a pass on miscommunication. As here's Schiavi now dancing inside the semicircle, goes down, and Bellarmine awarded the penalty inside the opening 15 seconds of the second half. The Knights had the opening kickoff to start the second half. They charge right down the field, and Dan Schiavi has won a penalty. As Kari Williams right now talking with ODU co-captain Caleb Wilson. We have not seen a card, but inside 15 seconds in the second half, and Dan Schiavi can put the Knights on top. Schiavi against Alexander, 1-0 to the Knights. 14 seconds into the second half, and Dan Schiavi has scored his second of the season. That is the 5th goal scored by the Knights in 2014, and that is the first goal conceded by the Ohio Dominican Panthers. So absolutely the worst start possible for Willie Merrick's squad right after the restart. And the senior from Bourne, England, takes a penalty kick goal in the 46th minute. To put Bellarmine on top, 1-0. Free kick quickly taken by Ohio Dominican, who now, after being on the back foot for the latter parts of the first half, were on the back foot to start this game. Schiavi went down. He looked to have contact right on the 18-yard line. Kari Williams deemed that penalty, that foul was enough to constitute a penalty being awarded. And it was a textbook penalty taken by Schiavi to his upper left corner of the goal. No chance for Alexander, who dove to his left away from the direction of the ball. Throw-in awarded to the Knights, who have come out with great resolve to start this second half and have already been rewarded once for their offensive attacking. Panthers ranked 19th in the preseason Division II poll, so in terms, this would be an upset against a team from Columbus, Ohio. We did see one in the American football game last night with Virginia Tech's win over Ohio State. That match was in Columbus at the Horseshoe. This game here in Louisville at Frazier Stadium. As Blake Hunter collects the pass after a couple of deflections. 2 minutes old in the second half. Szabo to take the throw in for the Panthers. Bonchek. Now chip ball from Kuala intended for the goal scorer Schiavi. Panthers get the ball right back. Bonchek. Out of bounds, last touch by Kuala. Throw into ODU. And an ambitious effort from Ohio Dominican there in the 49th minute to even up the score. Always rising above the crossbar, above the guard net behind the goal. Goal kick will be taken by Blake Hunter to get us back underway with 41:23 to play in the regulation time. Here's Alexander. Pass cleared by Bellarmine. But Ohio Dominican getting the ball back. Here's Brent Wally. Had a shot in the first half. Now plays out to the corner for Goulis. Gets a cross back in. Fernandez unable to control it with his chest. It deflects all the way on a bounce to Hunter, who gratefully collects for the Knights. Just after 3:30 p.m. here on the East Coast. Throughout this Game of the Week series, we will be switching back and forth between sites in the Eastern and Central time zones. We've already done that once with a game in West Chicago on Friday when Wheaton took on Calvin. One-touch pass from Bonchek intended for Brock Taylor, cleared out by Bellarmine. Under 40 minutes to play, regulation time. And a missed clearance on the part of Jared Kemper. Bonchek to Szabo. Pass for Wally, intercepted, and a one-touch clearance from Zach Daigen. Here's Wilson. Cross into the box, intended for Fernandez. Out comes Hunter. Only as far as Zabo. An uncontrolled one-touch. And Bellarmine unable to keep the ball in play. Cleared out. Last touch by Jacob Kay, the senior from Essex, England. Bonchek to Shane Facemeyer. And a free kick awarded to the Panthers. So opportunity knocking in the 52nd minute. Bellarmine 1-0 the lead on a 46th minute penalty converted by Dan Schiavi. A penalty that was awarded and converted just 14 seconds into the second half. Bonchek's free kick. A header that could have gone anywhere, but it will fall a couple of steps to the left of Bonchek. He'll take an attacking throw-in. Bonchek's that was G.J. Cook taking the throw. It reached inside the 6-yard box, eventually cleared out by Bellarmine toward the middle of the field. Fergulis will reset for the Panthers. Long throw in for Bellarmine. Cleared downfield by Mitchell Wiseman. Intercepted pass by Jacob Kay. And out came Schiavi, but further out came Justin Alexander outside the penalty box to clear that ball away. Forced Bellarmine to reset with a throw-in. Bryson Howard will leave it to Kemper to take this throw-in. Wally leaves it off for Facemeyer. Wally again. Panthers scored both of their goals in the win over Urbana on Thursday inside the first 15 minutes. They have yet to score since then. They've only conceded one goal, and it was that penalty taken just a couple minutes ago by Schiavi, but here come the Knights on the attack again. Now they slow down and reset. Howard back to the middle. Wiseman out to Mihicic. Excuse me, that's Albies. Here's Sanjan Mihicic, a sophomore from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Just about an hour and a half or so down I-65 south from Louisville. Free kick awarded to Bellarmine. 35-19 and counting in the second half. Knights over the Panthers 1-0. And again, as I've mentioned earlier in this broadcast, we had two games earlier this weekend, both featuring teams who use the Knights as a mascot. To be more specific, Gannon, they're known as the Golden Knights. But both times the Knights were the visiting team, and both times they lost. Today the Knights are the home team, and they currently lead with 34 minutes and change remaining in the match. Crossing the box just over the head of a jumping Bryson Howard. Bounces out of bounds for an Ohio Dominican goal kick. Long ball intended for Sabo. Cleared out by Daigen. Now Bonchek. Out of the wing to Taylor. Cutting inside. One-touch pass finding Wally. Cross into the box. Facemeyer will collect it right on the edge on the far side. Now sends it back in. And it looked like it may have been heading out for a goal kick on its own, but it's headed out by the Bellarmine defense, Jared Kemper, for good measure. So the Panthers awarded the corner kick in the 57th minute. It will be Bonchek on the right foot. Could be taking it short to Fergulis. No, Bonchek sends it into the box, and Ohio Dominican has equalized. Bonchek's corner getting inside the 6-yard box, and Brett Wally puts the ball away past the outstretched arms of Blake Hunter. And Wally gets his second goal of the season in the 57th minute. So no goals in the opening 45 minutes, the entirety of the first half. We've had 2 in the opening quarter hour of the second. Bellarmine's lead, good enough for almost exactly 11 minutes. And now a throw-in awarded to the Panthers, as that headed goal from Wally is the first goal conceded by the Bellarmine defense in 2014. Both teams are back to their original goal differentials as they were coming in. ODU, 3 goals scored, 1 goal conceded. Bellarmine, 5 goals scored, 1 conceded. Fernandez finding Szabo inside the box. Won by Kemper and cleared away. Kay to Bryson Howard, loses possession. Down goes Tanner Ebright, no foul called. Goal kick awarded to Bellarmine. Owsley B. Frazier Stadium here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's been a very pleasant day in the high 70s, although it's very sunny here in the southeast portion of the city. Suntan lotion a must here in Louisville. And if you have them, parasols most definitely welcome. Headed pass from Wally, intended for Szabo, intercepted by a Knight defender. Ohio Dominican will restart with an attacking throw-in. Here's Daigen. Out to Kemper. Almost lost possession to Wally, who's unable to control the ball. We are just about an hour old in this match. And we are no better than when we began. 1-1 off a 46th minute penalty from Dan Schiavi. And a 57th minute equalizer from Brent Wally, the junior from Pataskala High School and a native of Bishop Hartley. Wally now in space, now in the box, getting across in, and collected easily by Blake Hunter inside the 6-yard box. Kay trying to play it back inside towards Bryson Howard, intercepted by Taylor. Back to Alexander. We are an hour old now. as Willie Merrick, the Panther head coach, will be making a substitution right about now. He will bring back Andrew Schwall to the action, a sophomore forward from Gahanna, Ohio. He will replace Brent Wally, the man who just scored the equalizer no more than 4 minutes ago. Goal kick clears the halfway line. Zabo, half volley intended for Fernandez. Maintaining possession just outside the semicircle. Tried a one-touch pass back to Zabo. Cleared out by Bellarmine towards Jacob Kay. Got around Bonchek initially, but a turnover brings the ball now to Facemeyer. Wilson, a dummy feint to turn away from Kai Kuala, create some space. Errant pass from Taylor gives a quick turnover to Bellarmine. Here's Kuala. 1-on-3 with Schiavi now running to join Kuala on the left side. Cleared out by the Panther defense. Schiavi gets it back for the Knights. 62nd minute. Here's Howard. Kemper continuing his run down the right side. One-on-one with Schwall. Wiseman getting around Ebright, who did not make a serious challenge on Wiseman's run. And the ball will roll out of bounds for an Ohio Dominican throw. And again, if you're just tuning in, keep an eye on the yellow lines on the field here at Frazier Stadium. Again, this is a very fine multi-purpose facility used notably for soccer, track and field, lacrosse, field hockey. Just some of the many sports Bellarmine University offers at the NCAA Division II level in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Here's G.J. Cook leaving the ball for Michael Fergulis. And a free kick awarded to the Panthers in the 63rd minute as a perfect sell from Cook to leave the ball out to Fergulis on the right wing. And the sophomore from Chios, Greece, wins a free kick. Also went to Westerville North High School. That's on the northeast side of Columbus. Justin Bonchuk to take this free kick, and the last time he took a set piece, it resulted in the Panther goal off a header from Brent Wally, but Wally is right now off the field. Bonchuk's cross into the back of the net. Headed in by the co-captain, Caleb Wilson. 2 set-piece crosses from Bonchuk, 2 headed goals, and the Panthers lead for the first time of the afternoon. So Willie Merrick's men facing adversity 14 seconds into the second half. They have come from behind 2 goals in a span of 7 minutes to take a 2-1 lead. And Merrick has gone to the substitutes bench, bringing back Sam Katz at a defensive midfield hybrid role, and also junior midfielder Jalen Hambrick. They are now back into the game. Has a long kickoff from Bellarmine, reaching Alexander, not seriously threatening on goal. But again, Ohio Dominican, they had the offensive pressure for most of the opening minutes of the first half. As a cross into the box. Diving save, wasn't on target, but Alexander just taking a save for good measure. 2 free kicks from Justin Bonchuk, 1 on a corner, 1 on a free kick after a foul on suffered by Michael Fergulis. And a long ball down the left side intended for Cats goes out of bounds. Throw in upcoming for Bellarmine. '64th minute goal from Caleb Wilson, the co-captain, the junior from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. And Tim Chastity will make a substitution now in the 66th minute. For the first time today, we see the sophomore midfielder from Loveland, Ohio, Trey Loneman, wears number 5. He is in for Mitchell Wiseman, the sophomore from Hilliard, who went to St. Charles, so he's playing surely a lot of familiar faces that he would have seen in his high school days playing for the St. Charles Cardinals. Long ball sent forward for Schwal. Important intervention from Jared Kemper, forcing the Panthers to reset with an attacking throw-in. We did have a lively first half, but no question we've had a livelier second half. It all started 14 seconds after the restart. A penalty awarded to Bellarmine put the Knights up for about 11 minutes before a Bonchek corner was headed in by Wally, and then 7 minutes later, a Bonchek free kick headed in by Wilson. And here's another free kick for the Panthers. Taken across the field. Facemeyer. Zabo wanted to head it out on the wing to Katz. Unable to successfully time that header as Zabo had to get down on one knee. '67th minute. And a hard collision. Referee says play on. A Panther player stays down on the field of play, and the referee's going to call time. It's Michael Fergulis. Frazier Fernandez, who's on the floor after that hard challenge. A very disciplined game so far. No cards yet for either team. Are we going to see one here now with 23:07 to play in the first half? As right now, Fernandez look like he may have pulled his hamstring, being worked on right now by Shane Facemeyer. Both teams head to their benches for a water break. Temperature just now starting to creep up into the 80s in the last few minutes. And Brent Wally, the man who tied the game back in the 57th minute, has returned for the Panthers. Long clearance sent forward by the Panthers. Headed back past Cook. Now Zabo. Schwal had left it for Facemeyer, who was unable to control the touch. Throw in upcoming for Bellarmine. Not before they make a substitution. Ryan Fagan from St. Louis returns to the action in place of Michael Albies. 68th minute now, 22 minutes and change in regulation left as the Panthers getting across, deflected out for a corner at the far side of the field. Well, the last few set pieces, particularly those taken by Justin Bonchek, have resulted in Panther goals. They scored in the 57th minute off a corner from the other end of the field. Now Zach Katz will take this corner in the 69th minute. Katz on the left foot, headed in by Schwal. Will be collected outside of the box by Cook. Ebright. Schiavi winning the ball and clearing for Bellarmine as far as Wilson. Here's Jalen Hambrick. Still trying to fight off Trevor Thompson, excuse me. Across the field to Schiavi. Goes nutmeg on Katz. Continuing to get away from Katz. Schiavi continues his run in the middle of the field. Here's Fagan. Crossed, deflected on a slowdown from Katz. Fagan continuing a run. And a cross cleared out of the box in the lunging dive by Facemeyer. Only as far as Kemper. And Schwal deflects the ball out of bounds for a Bellarmine corner in the 70th minute. You do have to wonder, the heat hasn't gone up by much, but it has gone up noticeably. How much will it take a toll on the players? Thompson to take this corner. Cross into the box. Some contact away from the ball. A mishit clearance into the box from Workman, cleared out by the Panthers. Zabo's pass intended for Schwal, intercepted by Daigen. Sanjin Mahicic. Again, all goals coming in the second half. A penalty 14 seconds into the second period taken and converted by Dan Schiavi for Bellarmine. But Ohio Dominican came back with an equalizer in the 57th minute from Brent Wally. And then a Caleb Wilson 64th minute goal to give us our current score line of a 2-1 Panther lead. Both of Ohio Dominican's goals coming off set pieces where the dead ball kicks were taken by Justin Bonchek. One was a corner, one was a free kick. And now Ohio Dominican with the ball again in attacking territory, deflected out of bounds for another Panther corner, this time at the far end in the 72nd minute. Still no cards in this match. Very disciplined game between these two schools. And what is a non-conference matchup. Both teams belonging to conferences that start as a shot flicks off the post. And eventually collected by Blake Hunter. The corner kick was cleared. Shot sent back into the box. A back heel from Zabo almost found the back of the net, but it was denied by the far post. And Bellarmine still only down a goal. They could very easily have been down 3-1 after that last movement of play. But now they have an attacking throw and a chance to equalize. 73rd minute. Howard's cross deflected. Went past the byline. So the Knights have a corner kick in the 73rd minute. Taken outside the box to Schiavi. Trying to feed an attacker, punched out by Alexander. Mihicic. Cleared out by Facemeyer. Panthers have a throw-in. Or Knights have a throw-in, excuse me. Foul about a third of the way down the field. Gives the ball back to Ohio Dominican. Just over a quarter of an hour away from moving to 2-0 on the season unless Bellarmine can find a second goal. All 3 goals, as a matter of fact, coming off dead balls. Schiavi's penalty kick, a Bonchik corner kick, and then a Bonchik free kick. Matt Coffey returns for Bellarmine. He started the game, a redshirt senior defender from Versailles, Kentucky. Came off about 2/3 of the way through the first half. And this is the first time we've seen him since. And some physicality and a couple of injured players. Are we going to see a card here? Referee has called for the clock to be stopped at the 14:54 mark of the second half. There was some physicality right in front of the net. And we have both a Panther and a Knight injured. Is the referee going to show a first card of the match? We'll get the players confirmed to you in a minute, but a long ball sent down the left side was what caused the situation in the first place. As the referee right now tending to both players. We will get the numbers and identities confirmed in just a minute, but both Willie Merrick and a Bellarmine trainer quick to head over to the injured players. Looks like involved for Ohio Dominican was Jacob Zabo, number 4. While the Bellarmine player now being attended to, Zabo is sitting up. But the Bellarmine player is right now prone on his back. It was Zabo who was involved in that collision. Being told it was 14 Zach Daigen for Bellarmine. Right now, referee Kari Williams having a conversation with co-captain Caleb Wilson, who is right now the match winner after his headed goal in the 64th minute put Ohio Dominican up 2-1. We have not seen any goals since then. So a decision to make here for Kari Williams with just under a quarter of an hour to play. As Daigen being assessed a couple of concussion tests, trying to make sure he is able to continue. And Daigen has been shown a yellow card for that physical collision between him and Jacob Zabo. So first yellow card of the match comes in the 76th minute to Zach Daigen of Bellarmine. It will be a Knights goal kick, as Bellarmine looks like he is being taken off, at least for the moment, being tended to. And Zabo right now talking with referee Kari Williams. Looks like he's being escorted off to be checked just to make sure he's okay. Willie Merrick may be forced to send in the substitute as well. No word on what Tim Chastity has planned to do yet. Daigen is still standing on the touchline as if he wishes to re-enter, as does Szabo now. Szabo is back on the field, so is Daigen. So both players able to continue after that collision. Again, Daigen was booked for the contact. That is the first yellow card of the match, coming in the 76th minute. Chastity going back to the bench. He will not bring out Daigen. Rather, Mitchell Wiseman replaces number 5, Trey Launeman. So the sophomore from Loveland, Ohio, getting a couple minutes here in the second half. Pass back on the throw-in. Too much for Ryan Fagan to control. Turnover back to the Panthers. Meanwhile, the Knights set to make another substitution. Looks like Kai Kuala, a senior forward from Louisville, Kentucky, who had a couple opportunities both for himself and ones that created for others back in the first half. He was part of that opening run, the kickoff to start the second half that led to the penalty and Schiavi's goal 14 seconds after the restart. But Kuala returns in place of Joe Workman. So can he find an equalizer and force overtime here at Owsley B. Frazier Stadium? Again, if necessary, there will be 2 10-minute periods of sudden death overtime. So if we do see a goal in those 20 minutes, the match ends right then and there. One team with a win, the other with a loss. But if we finish the 110 minutes still tied, the match will simply be recorded as a tie. The drama of penalties gets to wait until postseason tournament play. Bonchik's cross into the box intended for Wally. Or excuse me, here's Wally. Tries to pass in for Ebright. Cleared out by the Knights defense. Final 12 minutes of the match here in Louisville. Final 12 minutes of our opening weekend here on this NSCAA Game of the Week series. It's been a lot of fun. We had 6 goals on Thursday night, all scored by the Golden Eagles of Charleston in a season-opening win over Gannon. And we had a comeback nearly complete on Friday night between Calvin and Wheaton. The Thunder getting out to a 2-0 lead before Calvin came back to score 2 goals. 5 minutes before the first half ended and 5 minutes after the restart before an 80th minute goal won the game for the Thunder. Although we did check the scores, Wheaton did lose last night's matchup with Hope by a score of 1-0, and Calvin won at Elmhurst on Saturday night, so both the Thunder and Knights are 2-2 this season. Meanwhile, Charleston was in action right now against Mercyhurst. Gannon today was taking on Notre Dame College of Ohio. Both these teams will have tomorrow off. Bellarmine and Ohio Dominican. The Knights are back in action on Tuesday, September 9th, when they take on Kentucky Wesleyan. That will actually be a doubleheader. The men's match will kick off first around 3:30 Eastern Time, and then it will be followed by the women taking on Kentucky Wesleyan at 6:30 p.m. Ohio Dominican actually has most of the week off, but Bellarmine have found an equalizer! Back to this match, Kai Kuala with a looping header to direct it over Alexander. And with 10:07 to play in regulation, we are tied again, this time at 2. Albies is credited with the assist. It is Kuala's first goal of the season, and what a time to get it, coming up on the final 10 minutes of regulation. 4 goals of the match, all of them since the restart. And Ohio Dominican quickly sends it forward with the long ball. Schwal tried to deflect it off of Brandon Ebert, but Schwal was last to touch. Bellarmine given a goal kick. 9:43 and counting in regulation. To reiterate what I was saying before that last equalizing goal, the first goal we've seen in open play this afternoon, Ohio Dominican has off until Friday when they will head to Lake Erie College. They have 3 road games to open the season. The long-range effort right at Blake Hunter, who was able to knock the ball down and then recover before Wally could follow up and potentially put the Panthers back in front. 82nd minute now. We had an 80th minute winner on Friday night between Calvin and Wheaton. But a looping header from Kai Kuala has brought it back to 2-2 as Justin Alexander caught out. He was about 4 yards out from the byline. Couldn't get back in time. Had he stayed on the touchline, had he stayed on the goal line, he in all likelihood would have been able to catch the ball. But a substitution for the Panthers brings back Frazier Fernandez into the game in place of G.J. Cook. Free kick to Bellarmine. Well, we had a couple of opportunities in the first half, but none of them were able to pay off with any goals. Now we've seen 4 in 37 minutes of the second half. Long, ambitious free kick taken by Schiavi, collected on the edge of the 6-yard box by Alexander. Just about 4:20 p.m. on the East Coast here. Ohio Dominican will make the trip back to Columbus tonight, roughly a little more than 3 hours from Louisville. And not exactly a difficult route, taking many roads. A through ball to Kuala is offside. Basically very easy to get here from Columbus. You take this Newburgh Road, which overlooks Frazier Stadium east, to the inner bypass, 264. Then you take it east, it will curve north to Interstate 71. And once you hit Interstate 71, it literally is a straight shot to Columbus going through Cincinnati. More specifically, if you wanted to get to Ohio Dominican's campus, you would take I-71 towards downtown, then take I-670 east towards the Port Columbus International Airport. Trevor Thompson has been substituted out. Jacob Kay is back for the Knights, who have a defending throw-in in the 84th minute. 2 goals each. Bellarmine had a penalty from Dan Schiavi in the 46th. That was the first goal of the match, and an equalizer from Kai Kuala in the 80th minute. Ohio Dominican, who have been given a free kick just now, they've scored twice on free kicks. Brent Wally in the 57th Caleb Wilson in the 64th. Bonchik to take the free kick. Cross will reach inside the box. And headed out by the Bellarmine defense. Panthers have a corner kick at the far side. '85th minute now, and Bonchik will be headed over to take that corner kick. A dead ball play, which the Panthers have already scored once off of. But that was taken over at the other side of the field. Bonchik on the right foot. Intended for Wally again. Headed out of the box by a Bellarmine defender. Now Schiavi. Facemeyer back in towards Wally. Almost a chance for a dangerous collision there, but all of the players involved get up unharmed. Here's Koala, one-on-one with Facemeyer, who wins back possession for Ohio Dominican. And a throw-in awarded to the Panthers, now in the 86th minute. Again, two sudden death periods of 10 minutes each await us if we do not see a game-winning goal in the final 4.5 minutes. And only after those two sudden death periods will the referees declare this game a tie. Throw in for the Panthers, who have trailed once, they have led once, and we have been tied twice at 1-1 and 2-2. Here's Zabo inside the box. And a free kick awarded just outside the 18-yard box. Zach Daigen called for the foul. He has already been yellow carded, but that physicality not really enough to warrant a second yellow from referee Kari Williams. But another dead ball situation for the Panthers. Coming up on the final 3.5 minutes of regulation, and it will be Justin Bonchik. Twice a free kick from him has been headed in. Bonchik tried to go for the upper far corner himself. Couldn't get it down in time. Goal kick to the Knights. Two teams who did post seasons a year ago above 500. Bellarmine was 8-6-4. They did lose in the GLVC tournament quarterfinals to Indianapolis. Ohio Dominican finishing 12-3-4. They won the GLIAC tournament, received a first round bye in the NCAA tournament, but lost in the second round, their only game in that national championship. Final 150 seconds of regulation. Again, two 10-minute periods of sudden death overtime await us if we are still deadlocked at 2. But here's Schiavi. Ambitious effort. Not able to get a whole lot of power on it. Easy save for Justin Alexander. Here's Zabo. Now Wally. Inside for Schwal. Cross into the box. Behind Andrew Schwal. But now Zabo. Ambitious effort curling around and way wide of the far post. And that just might be the last opportunity Ohio Dominican has in regulation. We still have 100 or about 90 seconds to go now. Bellarmine will get one final opportunity at a regulation win. NCAA record statistics only account for wins, losses, and ties. And a foul call at the 1:11 mark of the second half. And a yellow card has been shown to Sanjin Mahicic in the 89th minute. So Ohio Dominican will have a free kick just outside the box from the far side. Second yellow card of the match is shown to Mihicic in the 89th minute. 71 seconds separate us between now and overtime, unless one team can find what would definitely at this point be a match winner. Free kick. Headed out. Cleared forward by Bellarmine, and really anywhere will do as the clock will continue to run. And by the time Ohio Dominican takes this throw, will be under a minute left in regulation. 54 seconds now. Wally tried to head it towards Zabo. Cleared towards Schiavi. Bryson Howard. Schiavi tried a shot from well outside the box. Cleared out by Ohio Dominican. 23 seconds now. And a missed clearance. Opportunity almost fell to Schiavi. Bellarmine have a corner, but they only have 10 seconds before the end of regulation. Knights rushing forward. Corner kick sent into the box, headed out by Brock Taylor. And 4 goals, really in a span of 35 minutes. We are no better than when we began about 2 hours ago. And we will head to 2 sudden death periods of 10 minutes each. Both teams have 20 minutes to find a winner. We will take a quick break and we'll come back, bring you the first of the sudden death overtime periods. It's after 90 minutes, Ohio Dominican NSCAA game of the week. 90 minutes not enough to determine a winner in this Sunday afternoon NCAA Division II match between the Knights of Bellarmine and the Panthers of Ohio Dominican. We had no score after one half, 2 goals in a span of 34 minutes and 40 seconds. Dan Schiavi had a penalty kick back in the 46th minute, just 14 seconds into the second half. Brent Wally equalized for Ohio Dominican. Caleb Wilson put the Panthers on top in the 64th minute. And Kai Kuala with a header directed over the head of Justin Alexander into the Ohio Dominican net to equalize the score. And we are now in the first of 2 sudden death overtimes. If one of these teams scores in the next 20 minutes, they will win the game 3-2. If not, this match will finish in a 2-2 draw. And NCAA records only state wins, losses, or ties. So there is no additional place for if there is a winner in this match. It will simply count as a win for one team and a loss for one team. They do not count losses in overtime as separate statistics. Through ball gives an opportunity for Ohio Dominican. Cross back into the box from Jalen Hambrick. Now in towards Zabo. And Ohio Dominican awarded a penalty. Well, Bellarmine was given the penalty 14 seconds into the second half. Now Ohio Dominican can end the game in the 92nd minute. Use of the hand is the offense. It was Zach Daigen who already has been booked today. And it's going to be Jacob Zabo, the senior from Worthington, Ohio, to get the Panthers a win in match number 2 of the 2014 season. Zabo against Blake Hunter in the 92nd minute. And the Panthers have won in overtime. They trailed 1-0. They led 2-1. And they only need 87 seconds of extra time to get out of Louisville with a win. Jacob Zabo in the 92nd minute, directing the penalty kick coolly past Blake Hunter. It's his first goal of the season. Correction, his second goal of the season. And it proves to be a game winner. So Ohio Dominican improves to 2-0 on the 2014 season. They are back in action on Friday evening, September 12th at Lake Erie, while Bellarmine is back in action Tuesday right here at Frazier Stadium to take on Kentucky Wesleyan. That would be the first game of an afternoon-evening doubleheader between the Knights and Kentucky Wesleyan. We'll come back with final thoughts and the final sign-off. But the final score from Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio Dominican 3, Bellarmine 2. You've been watching the NSCAA Game of the Week. We'll be back after this quick timeout from Louisville.
Veritatis Amore.
In Veritatis Amore.
In Veritatis Amore.
In Veritatis Amore.
In Veritatis Amore.
The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Always nice to see who you wander across in the hallways, might have a quick word with.
So I think it's exciting to meet youth coaches and high school coaches and even college coaches who are all really passionate about the sport.
It's a learning experience. I think it's invaluable both from a coach standpoint and from an administrative standpoint.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Once again, good afternoon from the Owsley B. Frazier Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky, on the campus of Bellarmine University. And it was a brilliant day for attractive attacking soccer. The final score, Ohio Dominican 3, Bellarmine 2.
One-on-one with face
there were
markings
no
across
goals
into the
scored in
box,
the
headed
first
out by
half.
Wilson.
All the goal scoring
Not out of the penalty
came
box
after
yet.
the intermission, and it started almost
falls
exactly
again.
right away. A corner kick awarded to
A
the
shot
Bellarmine
from
Knights
just outside
14
the
seconds
where
into the
rushing
second
forward,
half.
and a long
easily
pass
converted by Dan Schiavi.
Will
The
reach
lead would only
Schiavi.
last 11 minutes
Lost
as
his
Brent
footing
Wally
on the
got
turf.
his second goal of the season off a corner kick from Justin Bonchik. Wally was able to head the ball in the goal past Justin Alex,
reaches to the
past
box.
Blake Hunter, excuse me,
shot, always
and
rising
equalized
over
the
the
score.
crossbar.
Ohio
No
Dominican
cards so
would later
far.
take a
At the
2-1
throw into the
lead
box.
in the 64th
And
minute.
the back corner
off a
was
free kick
all
headed
open
in by
as
Caleb
to
Wilson.
Schiavi.
It would not be until
Getting
the
around
80th
Alexander.
minute. Kai Koala connecting
And the shot
with a
goes
header
just
off a looping
across the
pass
face
from
of
Michael
goal.
Albies. Koala's header able
A
to loop over
miscommunication.
Justin Alexander into the back of the net.
Against
And there will be
Wilson.
no more
And Koala's
scoring
shot.
after that 80th minute
A
equalizer.
reflex save
until
right off the shin of
the
first
first the ball
extra
is
time
Joe
period.
Workman
And
tries
only
across
1
inside.
minute,
27 seconds needed
Ahead of
before Ohio
opportunity.
Dominican was awarded the penalty
Always
for
rising
handball.
over the cross.
And
Goes
Jacob
down.
Szabo from Worthington, Ohio,
And Bellarmine
able to
awarded
get his
the
second goal of the
penalty.
season on the penalty kick,
Inside
directing it coolly past
against
goalkeeper
Alexander. 1-0
Blake
to the
Hunter.
Knights.
So Ohio Dominican gets the 3-2 overtime win. They improved to 2-0 on the season. Their next game is Friday, September 12th at Lake Erie College, while Bellarmine is back here at Frazier Stadium on Tuesday afternoon
into the second half.
for a matchup
Dan
with
Schiavi has
Kentucky
scored his
Wesleyan
second of the
on
season.
Tuesday, September 9th. Taking a look at the quick shots.
Intended for Fernandez.
Quick
Out comes
statistics, rather.
Hunter.
Ohio Dominican had
Only
3
as far
shots in the
as
first
Szabo.
half, 10 in the second, and
on
only
free
1
kick.
in overtime. That would be the only one they would need for a grand total of 14.
A header that could have gone
Bellarmine
anywhere,
had 7
but it will-
shots in the first half.
And Ohio
7
Dominican
in
is
the second for a
equalized.
grand total of 14. Ohio Dominican had more corner kicks on the
Bonchek's
night.
corner getting inside the 6-yard box.
Ohio Dominican
And Brett
also
Wally
called
puts the
action
ball
saves.
away.
Alexander
Past the
making 6
outstretched
saves,
arms
4 in the first
of
half, 2 in the
Blake
second.
Hunter.
Blake Hunter making
Wally
4
now
saves,
in
all of them
space, now in the box.
second half.
Getting across
Individual
in.
statistics, again, one
And
goal for
collected easily
Jacob
by
Sabo.
Blake
It's his
Hunter
second of
inside the
year.
6-yard
Same
line.
for
Brett
Brett
Wally is right now
Caleb
off the
Wilson
field.
gets his first
Bonchek's
goal of
cross
2014.
into the back of the net.
Quala scored once for Bellarmine. It's his first goal of the season. And Dan
Headed
Sciambi
in
gives him
conference
2 on the 2014
matchup.
campaign.
Both teams
One
belonging
assist
to
from Michael Albies.
conferences that
2
start
assists
as
for
a shot
Justin
to
Bonchek
flex off the
for
post.
Bellarmine and Ohio Dominican,
And eventually collected by
respectively.
Blake Hunter. Well, that's going to do it from Owsley B. Frazier Stadium. Taken outside the box to
As the
Sciambi,
highlights
trying to
continue to play
feed
here.
an attacker punched out
Again,
by
as
Alexander.
initially planned, our next match
Mihichich
was originally scheduled to be
Ohio
a week
Dominican
and a
actually
half
has
from
most of
now,
the week
September
off,
7th,
but Bellarmine have found an
between
equalizer.
Ohio Northern and Ohio Wesleyan. It would be set to be an exciting game to
North
open the
Central
season. The
Ohio
long-range
derby
effort from Delaware, Ohio. That match is
Right
slated to start
at
at 7
Blake
p.m. Eastern
Hunter.
time, and we
Was
will
able to-
preview that match on Wednesday the 17th.
And a missed clearance.
But we've just
Opportunity
received
almost fell
updates
to
that
Sciambi.
We might be
Bellarmine
rejoining
have a
you
corner,
little
but they
bit
only have
sooner
10
than
seconds
that,
before the end.
as we will have that information confirmed for you.
And the
shortly in
Panthers
the next
have
couple
won
of
in
hours. We hope you
overtime.
Stay tuned to NSCAA and Turbo
They
Sports
trailed
for more
1-0.
information.
They led 2-1.
as we learn it at the same time as you do. Don't forget to purchase any videos or highlights from this match. Please log on to our website at turbosportsgroup.com. Turbo spelled TOURBEAU, sportsgroup.com for all your purchasing needs. As again, Ohio Dominican emerging from this one, going behind early in the second half, then taking a lead, then conceding an equalizer, but getting a game-winning penalty from Jacob Sabo to defeat Bellarmine in overtime by a final score of 3-2. That will do it from Owsley B. Frazier Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. For Scott Chaney, Todd Ward, the NSCAA and Turbo Sports Group, I'm Matt Digby, thanking you for viewing the NSCAA Game of the Week. So long from Louisville.